Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to Pride Resurrection, the historical video series covering the events of Pride Fighting Championship from the beginning. I am the most dangerous man alive today. I'm joined by the Colombian Good Vibe. Woo! Today we're going to be taking a look back at Pride Fighting Championship number 5. It's April 29th in the future year of 1999, and in Nagoya, Japan, there will be a fight. A Pride fight, in fact. It's been 6 months since Pride Fighting number 4, and this time around, the Nagoya Rainbow Hall will host our extravagant fighters. Wait a minute here, what, Pride Rainbow Hall? Is something gay happening here? The Nagoya Rainbow Hall, which had its name changed to the Nippon Gaishi Hall in 2007, is capable of holding around 10,000 tiny Japanese people, but for Pride number 5, only 4,000 fans turned out for the event.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's a far cry from Pride 4, where there was 37,000.
Jesus. Well, they saw what the main event was, and people didn't want to fucking show up.
That's right. Yeah, the Japanese people were like ashamed. They're like, okay, let's not go watch this. Yes. Because for another main event where Takada's in the main event, they're probably like, no.
Yeah, not worth it.
On this eve of super fighting action, we'll be treated to 6 amazing bouts of spectacle with one very special BJJ exhibition for us to enjoy. Stephen Quadros and Boss Rutan are once again doing commentary for this event. And we are watching the DVD version, and it's actually getting kind of better, a little bit better.
Well, I mean, they gave us an intro, which is crazy, you know? Wow. They probably spent a whole another $10 on that. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
And I'll touch more on that in just a moment. We're halfway through what I like to call the old era of Pride, which was Pride 1 through 8, and we're only... counting this event, we're only 4 events away from the first ever Pride Grand Prix of 2000, and literally I cannot wait for that. It's going to be a huge event.
Grand Prix, do they get to drive cars around?
No, you
through
think
Monaco?
they would. It's actually like a throwback tournament, Valley Tudo tournament.
Oh.
And it has an opening round, which will be like a 2-part episode when we do get to it. The opening round, and then they have like the semifinals, the finals on another night.
Oh.
So we'll do a 2-parter for that. But without further ado, let's get on to the fights and Pride number 5. sees Minoru Toyonaga from Japan, who stands 5'9", was 191 pounds, and was only 20 years old at the time. Minoru's MMA record as of this fight was 0-2. He's facing off against Egan Inoue from the USA.
He does not look from the USA. It's bullshit. I call bullshit. This is another fucking Japanese. And they just, he's from the US. Yeah, you should believe us. Definitely.
Egan is 5'9", was 190 pounds for this fight, and was 33 years old at the time. Egan's MMA record as of this fight was 4-4. We have two brand new fighters to Pride in this first bout, so let's answer the question. Just who are Minoru and Egan?
We get a hint about it on the intro video for him. Who does he train with? Oh, goodness. Who does Toyonaga train with?
Minoru is a Takada dojo fighter, and he only started fighting professionally 4 months prior to his appearance here in Pride number 5. He had 2 bouts in Pancrase, with both his bouts going to the judges, and both times the judges were unanimously against him. What about Egan? Born in Honolulu, Hawaii, Egan started studying Shotokan karate at the age of 3 under the tutelage of his grandfather, Japanese names. I have nothing but problems with Japanese names. Shoso Narikawa. After high school, Egan took up racquetball and joined the professional racquetball circuit at the age of 20. That's right. There is, or was, a worldwide professional racquetball league.
And it somehow led to MMA. Yes. That is the jump I don't fucking see. I play racquetball. I should beat people up.
Egan played in the International Racquetball Tour until around 1993, when he was forced to retire because of injury, but not before he captured 2 racquetball titles, the first coming in 1986 and the second coming in 1990. His injury from racquetball didn't stop him from pursuing other avenues, and during his run in racquetball, Egan maintained a healthy study of martial arts, and it was at the end of his racquetball career that he discovered Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He would go on to capture a blue belt world title in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 1996, then a purple belt world title in 1997. In the following years, he would achieve black belt status in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and just before Pride 5, he would compete at the ADCC, that's the Abu Dhabi Combat Club, Submission World Championships in February of 1999.
That's a fun word to say, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, yes it is. He would claim victory in his bout at the ADCC against Renzo Gracie. In 1995, Egan stumbled into the Lumex Cup Tournament of J 1995, where he would win his first 2 fights of the evening, first against Alexander Otska. And so Otska is the proper way. I have two YouTube commenters, don't have their names in front of me, but they said that Otska is the proper way, so Stephen Quadros was correct. It's Otska. First against Alexander Otska, then against Akihiro Gono, before losing in the finals to Shoshi. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Yoshi. It's actually Shuyoshi Kosaka. We've already seen Otska in Pride, and we'll get to see both Gono and Kosaka a few years down the road here in Pride. Egan would also see fights in Shuto, the Lumex Cup of 96, where he would lose against lump of shit Sine Kakuta. And I have in parentheses here, fuck you, Sine Kakuta, fuck you. And he would also see action in rings as well. And that leads us here to Pride number 5. Before the first fight gets underway, we get a taste of things to come with the big opening ceremony for Pride number 5 here.
We're getting such a nice intro, and I feel like a fucking fancy hooker, man. I'm being pampered here. I liked it. It was the weirdest goddamn music for an event where you're gonna see guys beat the shit out of each other.
Right.
I know it's traditional Japanese music, but I'm like, it doesn't really mix in well.
Stephen Quadros welcomes us in, introduces the fighters, and Boss Rutan starts with a joke. He likes Egan's haircut.
One of the finest grapplers in the United States, Egan Inoue.
I like his haircut, actually.
Toyonaga's?
No, Egan. It's a nice haircut.
It's very shiny.
Which Quadro doesn't get at the beginning. How the hell do you not get the joke? Oh my god. But you know Boss has hit the bottle. Yes. Like at this point, I assume they're doing all the commentary one after the other. He's wasted up.
I was gonna say either they're recording this commentary back to back to back, or they did it on separate nights. But if they did it on back to back to back, Boss is gonna be blitzed, fucking drunk,
and you can goddamn tell. You can tell both of them are. Jesus.
So you see, the joke is Boss is bald too. That's why he likes Egan's haircut. Meanwhile, Minoru is sporting a weird dyed mop, sort of like an orange-colored red. Is that a natural Japanese hair color? Because I always see Japanese people with this orangish, reddish colored hair.
No, because like 99% of Japanese people have dark hair, right. Either brown or black.
Yes.
So what they do is they dye their hair to make it seem like they're like the foreigners.
Round number 1, the bell rings and the fighters paw at each other before Minoru shoots in for a takedown, to which Egan slides back, grabs Minoru in a forward headlock and guillotine.
Minoru is really, really showing us that he's part of the Takada dojo.
Terrible thing.
Because he's motherfucking telling us exactly what he's gonna do half an hour before he does. Like, sweet heavens, guy, man. Like, just quit. Just quit. At this point, I'm very thankful to the DVD makers that gave us an intro, showing us, him training with Takada. Because then I'm like, all right, I expect nothing from this match.
Egan transitions to Minoru's back. Then Minoru spins, giving up mount to Egan. Minoru tries to buck, and like he's riding a bull, Egan manages to keep balance and stay on top. Minoru then rolls, giving up his back again, where Egan delivers a soft strike, then works for a rear naked choke. Egan gets his hooks in, and Quadros warns us, this fight could be over real quick.
And it looks like that arm is in front of the throat of Toyonaga. This fight could be over very quickly, unless Toyonaga can shuck him off.
It was really good hooks, and he did it so easily.
Minoru gets to his knees, and Egan rides on top of his back. As Egan softens up Minoru with a few punches, I have to point out the ferociously hairy legs of Minoru. He looks like a butch dyke who has just given up shaving out of hatred of men. I haven't seen many Japanese men's legs, but is it normal for hairy? I thought Japanese people are usually body hairless.
I don't know, man.
They don't have any hair on their body. Anyway, if you know, comment and let us know. Minoru rolls back from his knees, and Egan tries to sink in a rear naked choke, but Minoru manages to get his body turned so Egan is out of position. And suddenly, Minoru pops his head out and manages to get free as Egan stands up with him. Great response from the crowd to Minoru's efforts here.
Oh, this is not good. Toyonaga has got his chin up high. Oh, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over, folks.
Yeah,
and he's gonna have to tap out.
Oh, escaped it.
Wow.
The men tie up against the ropes, then move to the center of the ring. Egan tries a lift and slam on Minoru, but fails. Egan is looking out of breath, and with the amount of muscle he has, I am sure he wouldn't be able to keep up this high a pace for the full fight. But Minoru probably doesn't realize this, or hasn't been taught to realize this, and instead of turning up the pace and making Egan work harder, he just waits back and eats a head kick! The fighters move to the ropes and exchange light blows. Minoru shoots down for a takedown but gets stuffed by Egan and put onto his back. Egan tries to advance position, and Minoru rolls to his stomach, giving up his back. Quadros rightly chastises Minoru for this poor skill.
Down, but pulling guard instead, and Egan getting his back again. Toyonaga is really getting into the bad habit of doing this, and you don't want to really do this kind of a tactic against Egan Inoue.
Minoru manages to scramble to his feet, just getting out of the way of another head kick attempt by Egan. More errant strikes are thrown by both men. Egan steps in with a robotic leg kick, followed by a straight right, and then a soft uppercut, to which Minoru shoots down once again for a takedown. But Egan sprawls and holds Minoru in another forward headlock. For just a moment, though, before they both stand again. Boss remarks that Egan looks like Bruce Lee's training partner Don Inosanto.
Egan kind of looks like Bruce Lee's old training partner. What's his name?
Dan Inosanto?
Yeah. When you look at him like this, huh?
There's a slight resemblance.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll include a picture here of old Dan, and you tell me if there's any resemblance whatsoever.
You know what? You know what resembles a bottle of booze. That's what Boss was probably looking at that time.
Yeah, he was looking.
Like, this looks like Bruce Lee's training partner.
Quadro seems indifferent to Boss's comparison here. Tied up in a corner, Minoru looks to escape, and Egan punches him as he makes his exit. Egan must feel this punch connected as he aggressively chases Minoru down to the other side of the ring while he swings wildly. Minoru tries a spinning back kick and falls down. Egan stands over Minoru and tries a kick.
I like to call that back kick the retarded horse kick.
Yes.
Because it was the saddest thing ever. Like, I'm sending Minoru to the glue factory.
There is no form. I don't know if he's trained for this. He's Japanese, so you must think, oh, he knows karate. He's got to be able to throw. Well, no,
Sweet heavens. That was a fucking terrible kick.
Apparently not. Oh, where was I? Egan stands over Minoru and tries a kick/stomp to the head before falling on top into half guard, and then promptly he stands up again, jostling Minoru's legs for position. Egan falls down into side control on top of Minoru and takes a short breather. Egan feints an armbar, and Minoru rolls to his knees as Egan stays with him, holding onto his back. Quadros once again chastises Minoru for giving up his back, comparing him to Takada Dojo stablemate Sakuraba, who is known for giving up his back.
Yeah, but Sakuraba's a decent fighter.
Yeah, that's the difference. Maybe he watches Sakuraba and says, oh, yeah, okay, I should give up my back. No. Sakuraba knows what he's doing.
And he knows how to defend that shit. This bastard does not.
No. Egan stalks over Minoru while maintaining back position, but gets overly aggressive, and Minoru scrambles away and gets to his feet. 5 minutes have passed in round number 1. A few leg kicks by Egan, and Minoru shoots in for another takedown attempt, which fails miserably. Egan flops around Minoru's back before getting a front headlock. Egan doesn't do a whole lot from this position until he tries to force Minoru onto his back. As he's muscling Minoru back, he punches him right in the neck. Minoru shouts, ducks down, and covers his head as Egan stands over him. Minoru looks defenseless, and the ref runs in and stops the fight. Egan Inoue is declared the winner via TKO at 5 minutes 53 seconds of the first round.
It's one of the first times that a ref intervenes after a hit and no one complains about it.
Right.
No one fucking complains about it.
Yeah, I mean, getting punched in the neck does not feel good, and I wonder if it maybe messed with his breathing or messed with his throat at all. The broadcast lingers here with near silence from the crowd. Quadros and Boss make a few comments, and then Egan is given the wimpiest, shrimpiest little, most pathetic trophy I have ever seen in my life. What the hell happened to the towering trophies that they were given?
I'm not going to spoil this because we're going to find out what happened to those trophies because their budget went elsewhere.
Yes. Oh, yes. I see what you did there. So what were your thoughts on this fight?
It's a goddamn Takada Dojo fight, man. Why the fuck do we still have them? Get these fuckers some MMA experience somewhere else, not in Pride. They offered no fight. Nothing.
No, I think that's the benefit of being a Takada buddy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A 0-2 record should not get you into the Pride. Even if, as the first match, it shouldn't get you into the fucking card.
It's an easy payday. Like, they probably said, here, $5,000. I don't know what they paid these guys at this time, but it couldn't have been a whole lot.
No.
So, like, here's $5,000. You're at Takada Dojo. You get a free pass into, fighting in front of a crowd. It should go to somebody else.
It should go with someone that at least it has been tested. Because this is maybe the third Takada Dojo fight that we see where they just get annihilated, including Takada himself.
Right. So, what would become of our two very distinct fighters here? This would be Minoru Toyonaga's only appearance in Pride Fighting Championship. He would fight 2 months after this at a rings event, where he would lose via submission. He would return to Pancrase after that, where he would finish his MMA career with 2 decision wins and a submission loss, taking him to a final MMA record of 2 wins and 5 losses.
That's 2 more wins than I would expect from him.
What would become of Minoru after that? I don't know. Probably pro wrestling. As for Egan Inoue, or Inoue, I want to say Inoue. I don't know.
I think it's Inoue. Like Inoue.
Yeah.
Because, it's Hawaiian.
Right, and Quadros calls him Inoue.
Yeah, but it's Quadros. He doesn't know how to pronounce jack shit.
I'm going to trust Quadros because he got Otsuka right. So, as for Egan Inoue, we'll get to see him back in action in short order at Pride number 6, which would be held only 3 months later in July of 1999. But before then, he'll squeeze in a fight at Icon Sports Super Brawl number 12, a local Hawaiian MMA promotion, in June of 99.
That has a better name. Super Brawl.
Yes.
That really makes me want to watch it.
But I wonder if they ran into any copyright issues with WCW, who had Super Brawl as one of their pay-per-views. That was like WCW's WrestleMania.
But you say, but that's the difference is, you have between Super Brawl, which is like an event once a year, and maybe the Hawaiian one was more often. Was maybe the league itself was called Super Brawl, which you can get around, any problems with that.
After Pride number 6, we'll only get to see Egan once more at Pride 13, Collision Course. Catch you later, Egan, and see you in Pride 6.
This will be the first time that I'm going to see Fransisco Bueno fight Chico, so to say. I know very well. This is the first time actually that I saw the fight from him against Jason Belfort. Now,
on to fight number 2 of the evening, which sees a returning Satoshi Hanma, who stands 6'1", was 204 pounds, and was 30 years old at the time. Hanma's MMA record at the time was 4 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws.
And who did he beat last Pride?
Yuhi Sano?
Yeah, wasn't he a Takada?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just pointing this out because it'll come into play later on. I'm just saying this because it gets brought up that he beat someone in last Pride so well with so many good strikes. I'm like, really just look at the opponent.
Yeah. He's facing off against Fransisco Bueno from Brazil, who stands 5'9", was 222 pounds, and was 26 years old at the time. Bueno's MMA record at this fight was 1-0. Hanma is returning after an absolute mud stomping of old Yuhi Sano, and this time he'll have a Brazilian to deal with. But just who is this Fransisco Bueno? Fransisco Bueno was born in Rio de Janeiro and trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Carlson Gracie. Fransisco had his first professional MMA fight only 3 months prior to his appearance here at Pride 5, debuting against Jason Gotze at IVC number 8 in Brazil. That's a fight he would win via submission to strikes. And that brings us here to Pride number 5. Hanma is looking quite villainous with his new haircut. Quadro seems to like it a lot as he makes mention of it. I love the smoky atmosphere, but Rutan makes a comment about it saying, oh, somebody's smoking in the room.
Fransisco Bueno! Somebody's smoking in the room. Yeah, they do have a lot of smoke in this.
See, for me, it's kind of funny because they started talking about how smoky it is, and the first thing that popped into my head was like, man, this is probably not a good omen for this fight when your commentators all of a sudden start talking about how smoky it is in the room. I'm like, no. When that shit happens, that does not lead to something good happening in the fight.
Bueno is absolutely ripped. He's 230 pounds of muscle, while Hanma is looking quite flabby, especially in the gut. Good vibe. Why don't you take us through this fight?
Oh, shit. So let's start with something. The intro video makes Hanma look like the best striker there ever was. And of course, it has scenes from last Pride.
Yeah.
Of course. So it's like, you look at this intro video and you're like, oh my god, Hanma's unstoppable.
Yeah, he put a clinic on fucking Yuhi Sano, so he looks like,
Yeah, so they put that intro video and it was just ridiculous. So we're gonna be, the fight starts, man, and it's, what, 10 minutes of fucking dancing, prancing around? Oh my goodness. Like sizing each other up, or they're, Boss and Quadro are like, oh, they're sizing each other up. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm here to see a fight.
Yeah, Quadros and Boss keep alluding that this fight is going to become explosive.
What's gonna happen after the first clash? It's gonna be more relaxed.
I think it's gonna be total warfare once they start engaging here.
And I agree with them. But the problem is, it's going to become explosive. I don't want to be 60 when it becomes explosive. Jesus fucking Christ. But it just happens so much. And it looks to me more like a boxing match than an MMA. Their poses, their guards, everything. Just so much more that way. And you know what? I know Hanma is 20 pounds lighter than Bueno, and you can tell because Hanma's acting really safe, really freaking safe. But you know what? And then he tries some like weak low kicks. Honestly, like they don't. If they connect, nobody's fucking feeling them.
Yeah, and Hanma keeps calling Bueno in, like
like taunting him. Yeah. And by the way, is Hanma pucking his lips? Like every time they saw his face, I'm like, this son of a bitch giving me a duck face.
Yeah,
I can't fucking tell. I can't tell, man, but Hanma's taunting Bueno and whatever, and then all of a sudden lands a good low kick, man. Bueno doesn't fucking feel it. At this point, I want to ask Boss, what the fuck is the Star Wars program?
Hopefully he's got the head movement in case one of those Bueno guided missiles comes upside his head.
Yeah, he needs the Star Wars program.
We go back to some lackluster kicks from Hanma, and actually Bueno throws one or two fucking terrible. And they start once again their fucking dance contest, man. Like, at this point, just start playing some dubstep, see who can fucking dance better. I think at this point, like, Bueno realizes that Hanma's being too safe. Mm-hmm. And that's when it clicks on him, because he goes in and gets a few quick strikes, which then, you know what, Hanma's a really quick guy, and he's really quick to counter every time.
Yeah, Quadro says Bueno wanting to get busy.
There's nothing to fear but fear itself, they say. Oh, Bueno coming in. Bueno wanting to get busy.
And Quadros loves to say that guys are trying to get busy. They want to get busy.
In the Rainbow and Pride.
Yeah, a couple guys want to get busy at the Rainbow Hall in Pride.
But, the Bueno's laying some really good hits, some powerful. But, that's the thing is he goes in, he lands a couple quick hits, but Hanma then returns and he lands a couple of his own. It's amazing. But then all of a sudden, like I said, it just clicks on Bueno. And he realizes that he should just go in full out. And oh my goodness, does he do that? He just jumps in a barrage of hits, both sides, but you can tell neither side is hitting them. It's like they back and forth, and not all of them are hitting like quite right, glancing a lot of them, but it's still just such a quick barrage. Hanma just, you can tell he gave up the weight because he's not really doing much. Like I'm seeing Bueno land hits and then Hanma like trying to defend himself like a pansy fight, like you know how they try to like slap each other in the face kind of thing. I'm not seeing him do well.
No, Hanma, he looked extremely amateurish during this barrage as Bueno's just laying in him and just fucking starching him, and he's looking like he has no clue.
And Hanma gets to move a little bit into the corner. Bueno goes in with another barrage, lands a fucking good couple hits, and then Hanma walks away again, only to get barraged again. But this time, Bueno comes back and lays 2 solid hits. Hanma goes down.
Yeah.
It was an amazing skill from Bueno. The moment he realized that he should go, he fucking hit that gas. And it was just insane.
Absolutely. Hanma got starched in this fight. Jesus, I got written down here.
Jesus!
Once again, the crowd is silent.
A big flurry of punches. In the end, he started connecting, and that was it. Over and out.
At first, he seemed tentative. He seemed like he didn't want to engage Hanma, but then something happened.
Yeah, it was... But that's the thing is, it was maybe 30, 45 seconds of the barrage of hits, and it was just brutal.
I just have a note here. I only noticed this as Bueno is celebrating, but... Ew, ugly back pimples all over Bueno's back. Gross. I wonder if he was juicing for this fight, because that only comes from using some type of steroid or hormone. You get the pimples all over your fucking back, and his ass is probably...
Can't say I have used hormones or...
His ass is probably covered in fucking pimples.
Oh, God.
Oh, so what would happen with our 2 cheeky fighters here? Fransisco Bueno will return at Pride number 8, which will take place later in 1999, November to be exact. There he will get a very difficult challenge in Igor Volchansk. As for Satoshi Hanma, this would be his final appearance in Pride fighting. He would go on to try his hand at kickboxing, appearing in K1 Survival 99 only 2 months after Pride 5 here. A fight he would win via TKO. But that would be his only kickboxing bout of his career. After that, Hanma would go on to compete at UFC 25 Ultimate Japan number 3 on April 14th of 2000, where he faced off against Ron Waterman. He would lose that fight via decision, and just an FYI, we'll get to see Waterman in action in 3 future Pride events, so stay tuned for those. Hanma would take 4 years off from professional fighting and would have the last fight of his career at ZST Battle Hazard 01 in Japan, a fight he would lose via decision to Ken Urahashi.
The Japanese have such great names for shit.
Oh yeah.
Why is this called Pride? It should have been called something much better, man.
Right. Yeah, they just throw in random letters together.
Super Robot Battle.
Yeah, random words and random letters together to produce a name for an event. us to fight number 3 of the evening, which sees a returning Igor Volchansk, who stands 5'8", was 235 pounds, and was 25 years old at the time. Igor's MMA record as of this fight was 37 wins and 2 losses. He's facing off against a returning Akira Soji, who stands 5'8", was 194 pounds, and was 25 years old as well. Soji's MMA record as of this fight was 3 wins, 1 loss, and 4 draws. Igor Volchansk competed in 2 World Valley Tudo Championship events prior to his appearance here at Pride 5, those being WVC number 6 and WVC number 7, both taking place in Brazil in November of 98 and February of 99 respectively, and he would defeat both his opponents in those fights, one Alessio Faritas Nito and Edson Carvalho via TKO. Akira Soji is returning after a big TKO win over Valid Ismail and looks to play the upset role once again against Igor.
He's giving up 40 pounds. That is just ridiculous.
Yes. Before the fights, our warriors are gifted bouquets by an unknown Japanese person. At least he is unknown to me, and I assume he's also unknown to Quadros and Boss, who both neglect to even acknowledge this guy's presence.
And this is where the budget for the trophies went, because these are some beautiful fucking bouquets of flowers, man. And why the fuck are they handing him out at the beginning of the match? I don't know, because then they get put on the fucking corner.
Yeah,
and they'll probably fucking be forgotten there, man. Like,
I don't understand who's selecting which fights that they're going to give bouquets to. Who is this guy?
So, a little bit of a spoiler, mostly, because when I saw it, in another fight next up, it almost made sense. I almost want to say that this guy that's handing out flowers is some sort of fighter.
He has to be, yeah.
Because later on we'll see that flowers get handed out by someone that is within that kind of competition.
Yes, yeah.
So I would assume it's the same here. They just grab someone that maybe wants to do it. Hell, maybe some poor sucker that joined the Takada dojo and we'll see him lose later on.
Yes.
We don't know.
We will find out, I guess, as we go through the prides here. But somehow I don't think he ever appears because Boss and Quadros don't even acknowledge this guy. And I assume that's because they have no idea who he is when they recorded this commentary. And the producers of this DVD or this commentary, they didn't even give notes to say, here, this is the guy's name. Fucking mention it. What the fuck? That's what a producer does. You give the fucking notes to the commentary saying, hey, you got to make sure you cover this. Anyway. Boss Rutan likens Soji to being a smaller version of Volchansk.
If you look at it, it's Soji is kind of a small Vovchancyn if you look at him. He's got the same build, only he's smaller. He's very tough, good at submissions, but can he take Igor Vovchancyn down? Because I think with strikes, he's not going to make it. So he needs to take this fight to the ground.
I think it's true that there is a similarity in the build, but Igor Vovchancyn outweighs Vovchancyn by almost, actually by 40 pounds.
Quadros concedes to Rutan's point here, saying Igor Volchansk outweighs Volchansk by 40 pounds. So pretty much he admits that Soji looks exactly like Igor Volchansk. Oh, and in some alternate reality inhabited by only Volchanskins, this comment from Quadros is true.
I also want to point out that Boss calls Igor a colorful fighter.
Because he's a very, very interesting fighter. It's very colorful.
And I have a note here saying colorful. Igor is the whitest thing since they discovered Siberia.
Yes. Kale Uno is in Soji's corner. Uno, who was active in MMA during his time, would go on to become a very acclaimed fighter in Japan. but he would never once fight in Pride Fighting Championship. He would fight in about a dozen UFC events and would have 2 very memorable bouts against BJ Penn, including an 11-second TKO loss to Penn in their first meeting. I did send out a tweet to Kale Uno to ask him why he never appeared in Pride, but my mistake was I tweeted him in English.
That's what Google Translate is for, sir. What the hell?
I don't trust the Google Translator.
Oh, you shouldn't, but it's funny as hell.
But I would assume that since he last fought in UFC a couple years ago, that maybe he knows some English, but he never tweeted me back, so I guess we'll never find out why Uno never fought in Pride.
Google Translate, try it.
With that out of the way, let's get on to round number 1. Aoki's Pizza. I just noticed this now. Sorry, a little bit more bullshit before the fight here. Does anyone listening know if Aoki's Pizza was any good? I don't know if it still exists, but it's a big fucking advertisement in the ring. I love pizza. I am a pizza connoisseur. Anybody know Aoki's Pizza? Good, bad?
Are you gonna try to get them to deliver to the United States?
I don't know. I don't know if Japanese pizza is traditional or if they do wacky shit like fucking shrimp and fucking all sorts of crazy stuff on pizza. But let us know in the comments. Love to know.
Triple cheese! Wow! Aoki's no triple cheese sando.
Anyway, sorry with that. Let's get on to the bout. Measured circling from our
AKA more prancing.
yes, from our 2 Volchanskins here. Quadro's comments on Volchanskyn's meaty legs.
And look at the size of Vovchancyn's legs. Boss, they say that punching power comes from the legs. And with legs like those, you know he's got some punching power.
Which are like stumps on an elephant. The fighters waste about a minute deciding what to do.
Now, let me ask you a question, because Boss, I don't know if it was Boss or Quadro brought it up, and it made me wonder. They were talking about Igor and how he would lost one of the fights via submission when someone put pressure on his eye.
Loss was against, Mikhail Ilyenko, some Russian guy. Anyway, it was by submission because the Russian guy put his jaw in the eye of Vovchancyn, and that's why he tapped. So it was a strange victory, submission by the eye, the chin in the eye.
And that was in the semi-final match of a 16-man tournament, the AFC 1, the Absolute Fighting Championships.
Is that fucking legal?
Well, if they're talking about, I believe here, I don't have it written down, but they were talking about an event in Ukraine, which I think that they were pretty much no holds barred. Now, when you hear the term no holds barred, what does that really fucking mean? Well, it's supposed to mean no rules whatsoever. Like the first UFC where punches to the groins, headbutts, fucking eye gouging, all this crazy shit was allowed. So I assume in Ukraine, probably fucking lawless there in the ring. Oh, where was I? The referee asked for action, but still, the fighters refrain. Volchansk slowly inches his way towards Soji, backing him into the corner as he waves his fist up and down, getting ready to unload. And then suddenly, Soji rushes away and escapes. It's been nearly 2 minutes when finally Igor throws a straight left, to which Soji ducks away from.
You know what this fight reminds me? And it's unfortunate because I like Akira. And he hasn't done too bad so far. But he's the fight we had with the giant black guy.
Emmanuel Yarbrough.
Yes. When that fight happened, like the Japanese he was fighting how he was walking around the ring because he was scared. Yeah, it's the same thing, man. I'm seeing the exact same thing in Soji. He's just staying away, playing it way too fucking safe.
Soji wings in for a right leg kick and Volchansk catches his foot, throws a right, and sends Soji down to his back. Volchansk backs away and Soji watches him with his ass on the mat.
I'm still surprised Soji is conscious after that fucking hit, man. It was brutal.
But Soji decides to stand up a few seconds later. Quadros believes that Volchansk is giving Soji a lot of respect and must have watched Soji's previous fights and liked what he saw. I guess.
I call bullshit on that. It's just Igor likes hitting. You can't hit that well when you're trying to grab.
Volchansk with a left and right, but neither of which really connect. Just a note here, both Soji and Volchansk are listed at 5'8". In actuality, Soji might be a couple inches shorter. If Volchansk is legitimately 5'8", I don't know if Soji is 5'8". There's a leg kick by Igor, then he tries an overhand right, which Soji dodges and tries to wrap Igor up. They grapple in the corner before separating. More feeling out from both men before Igor lunges in for a swinging left. Soji ducks and escapes. There's a leg kick by Volchansk, and Soji attempts to grab and grapple him before Soji is pushed back onto his ass, where he scoots around, chasing Volchansk from his ass. Quadros calls Soji's move here the butt scoot.
Shoji is doing what we shall call the butt scoot.
And 5 minutes have passed in round number 1. Not much action in this position except for a few soft kicks by Igor. Surprisingly, the ref steps in and makes Soji stand up.
I applaud that ref, man, because Soji was doing jack shit on the ground.
And it's here that we realize the rules of Pride are finally starting to come together. Pride will, in the future events, be very aggressive with keeping fights active. They'll, if they're stalling, they'll give a yellow card. If there's more stalling, they'll give a red card, and that's going to change the whole game.
I love it. I love it because it's actually making fights interesting, especially for people like me, man. I didn't watch MMA before we started doing this shit, and some of these earlier Pride fights, I was fucking falling asleep. I just switched off and started playing video games while the fucking fight went on.
Yes, and Quadros makes note of this, just as I was thinking it, saying he's happy to see Pride evolving right before his eyes. And yes, we can see Pride is evolving right before our eyes here. And here's the note. Wow, I just noticed the huge bruise on Volchansk's left leg. Could that have come from Soji's kicks? I don't think so.
I was trying to look, and from what you can see in the fight, from what you can see in the camera angles, not a single one of Soji's kicks hits in that area. So I don't know if maybe one of the times he went down, like scratched him, maybe something. I don't know, but like definitely nothing I could see.
Boss Rutan is hammering home his Volchansk comparison here. He notes that Soji and Volchansk seem to move the same as well.
And they move kind of the same when they stand in front of each other with the hands. Look at this. Look at this. See?
They actually do.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's the small Vovchancyn and the bigger Vovchancyn.
There's not a whole lot of action as the minutes begin to drain away. And I have to play devil's advocate here and wonder, was Igor advised with money as an incentive to make the fight easier for Soji?
But he's not making it easier for him. He's just not. He's
dragging it out.
Yeah, he's dragging it out. But I think it's the other way around. He's making it easier for himself because, like I said, I don't think Igor's that amazing as a grappler, and we've seen Soji can pull that off. Yeah. So I think Igor's playing it safe. He's like, I have the power. I have 40 pounds in this fucker. I punch him, he hurts, he punches me, I giggle. I think that's what's fucking going on here.
And you know what? You bring it up, you could be 100% right. Igor might be taking it easy on himself. Maybe he's injured in some way. And
that fucking bruise on his leg. There you go, man.
He could, yeah, you're right. So me playing devil's advocate here, I could be completely wrong. I don't want to allude to the fact that Soji would take a fixed fight or that Igor would accept money to play it easy on a guy. But
I don't think so. I do have a note, however, saying that this looks like someone fucking recorded the first 2 minutes of the fight and then played it on a loop. Because that's exactly what's happening. Is they throw a couple hits, they prance around. They throw a couple hits, they prance the fuck around.
Yeah. Igor finally moves in and delivers a right and left hook followed by a left kick, but not much damage seemed to be done by them. 3 minutes remain in round number 1. Igor throws a missing right and they briefly grapple. There's a left thrown by Volchansk, to which Soji counters with his own left and a whiffing right hand. They mix it up a little bit more, but once again, neither man really connects. There's an inside leg kick by Volchansk, and Soji responds with a left hook, clipping Igor. Igor briefly ducks to Soji's waist before coming back up and just barely dodging another Soji punch.
I have a note here saying that they are missing about as much as a blind man playing darts. Because holy shit.
Yes. There's only 1 minute left in our round number 1 here. They trade punches briefly, back away from each other, then Soji comes in with a stinging right leg kick. Igor fires back with a right, but it misses. Suddenly the bell rings, signaling the end of round number 1. A really good technical round for Soji, but he lost the round, claims Quadros. Then Quadros notices the ring girl.
Well, a really good tactical round for Shoji, but he lost the round because Vovchancyn was the aggressor and did land the shots. But nonetheless, that is the strategy he must employ against Vovchancyn.
Yeah, striking and try to go for a takedown later in this round.
One of our lovely Pride ring girls.
Oh my god, I noticed the ring girl. You want to hear my comment? Holy underboot, Batman! Like, holy hell! I'm glad they got these ring girls.
Yes,
I am disappointed that cameraman did not follow through. I was sad about that.
Like UFC will they show the ring.
Yeah, which they fucking should, because these ring girls are fucking hell.
I will admit, this ring girl pretty fucking hot. Round number 2, the fighters circle, and then circle some more, with Volchansk throwing a slapping leg kick every so often. Soji tries a kick of his own, pounding away at Volchansk's left thigh, while Quadros explains that he feels Volchansk didn't come into this fight worried about it at all.
He shouldn't be. From what I've seen, he's got nothing to worry. Like, Boss and Boss mostly, he's saying how Soji is so elusive. I'm like, elusive? Fuck that. Fucking coward, man. He's fucking not staying anywhere near him.
They tie up and Volchansk flings Soji down to the mat, and Soji happily stays down as Volchansk hovers over him.
That was a good flip, but Soji did really well in fucking sticking Igor's arms away from him.
Yeah.
Because, he's on the ground, but Igor can't do jack shit.
2 minutes have passed in round number 2. Volchansk teases going down into Soji's guard, but must have changed his mind and backs away. Volchansk kicks Soji's leg, and Soji tries to kick back, pushing at Igor's knees. Close to the 3 minute mark, the ref once again steps in and stands Soji up. Overhand right by Igor, followed by a kick that might have been below the belt. Another overhand right by Igor, and they clinch. Igor takes Soji's left leg and then lifts and swings him down to the mat. Igor finds himself in side control on top of Soji. Igor slaps Soji with 2 light punches. Soji rolls and escapes, getting back to his feet, and we're back to standing. Once again, Igor tries an overhand right, and Soji responds with an errant right hook that misses. At the 5 minute mark, Volchansk lunges in with a left hook. Soji ducks and falls as Volchansk plows right past him. Soji tries an up kick, and Igor circles away. Soji is content to lay on his back once again as Igor paces in front of him. The ref comes in once again and stands Soji up.
By this time, Soji should have had a yellow card. Let's be honest. Yeah. Because he's actually doing absolutely nothing being on the ground. He's not trying anything, and Igor's not being near him, so there's no reason to stay down on the ground. It's just, he knows he's overpowered, and this is what he's going to be trying to do.
Yes. Boss says exactly what I'm thinking. Volchansk is constantly looking like he's going to pull the trigger, but for some reason, he doesn't.
Yeah, Vovchancyn constantly looks like he's going to pull the trigger, huh?
Quadros hypothesizes that maybe Igor admires Soji, so he is carrying him a little bit, i.e. taking it easy on Soji. There's another overhand right by Volchansk, followed by a kick, and then another nice kick by Igor, which goes right into Soji's deck. Quadros says that Igor doesn't want to win like this, and he is not a cheap shot.
A brief break there. Vovchancyn feels bad. He doesn't want to hurt Shoji. Not like this. He wants to win the fight, but he's not a cheap shot.
The fight is restarted after Soji had taken a breather.
I will say, I'm impressed because that hit to the dick was pretty fucking hard. And he was back up and at it. I'm like, alright, man, I give you props.
3 minutes remain in the fight. There was a nice leg kick by Soji, targeting Volchansk's left thigh. Igor responds with a right that isn't even close to connecting. Igor falls back and Soji charges and runs right into Igor, and they both swing at the air.
But see, this is one of those points where I noticed Igor's not kicking at all. You know, that's the main thing. As a striker and as everything, he's not kicking.
Well, he's a kickboxer. His kickboxing record was 65 and fucking 4.
He's not kicking at all. That's why when I saw that bruise on the leg, I'm like, what the fuck is going on
Yes,
here?
I think the evidence is mounting that maybe he was previously injured.
Because, I mean, that kick from Soji was good, but why would you try to respond with a punch?
Right. Igor definitely has a spark in his eye now as he stalks Soji, eventually pinning him on the ropes and firing with a right and a left. Soji counters with a right hook and falls to the mat as Igor very nearly hits him with a soccer kick. Once again, Soji rests on his laurels and paws at Igor's legs with little push kicks. A very frantic exchange here as Soji gives a strong kick from his back onto Volchansk's left thigh. Volchansk falls down to Soji's legs, battles to get into a dominant position, but Soji scrambles away. Igor bear hugs him from behind as they fall into the ropes. Soji spins and faces Igor. They clinch, and Soji gets a body lock on Igor, then pushes him into the ropes, then puts him into the corner, and we rest here.
Yeah, I want to point out at this point, this is the only, honestly, for this Pride, only time I was annoyed at the referees. Because the referees kept coming up, like, kept moving Igor's arm. And I'm like, where do you want him to put his fucking arm? It's like he's going right on the... It's not like he's trying to grab the ropes.
Right.
He's just trying to relax his arms a little bit. And yeah, they're going on the side of the ropes because he's on the fucking corner. Right. And this ref is like, oh, no, move your fucking arm. I'm like, where the fuck you want his arm to go then?
I noticed that too, but I didn't have it written down. Igor tags Soji's head with a few small lefts and right as the ref hovers to make sure Igor doesn't hook the ropes. I did have it noted.
Yeah, but he wasn't hooking the ropes. Like,
no.
You know, I've seen so many people hook the ropes, but Igor definitely wasn't. He was trying to, like, relax his arms a little bit between hits, and every time the ref would be just there. I'm like, fuck off.
There's only 1 minute left in our fight here. The ref breaks up the fighters from the corner and moves them to the center of the ring. Just say no to stalling. A new campaign by Quadros. Boss replies with, yeah, like in the restrooms, you know?
Just say no to stalling.
Yeah, like in the restrooms, you know?
What does that mean?
That means that he's had a third bottle of fucking liquor.
Yes. Igor comes in with a left to the body and Soji squirts away, avoiding any real damage. Igor wings a left hook as Soji ducks, and when Soji comes up, he comes up swinging away, clipping Igor a couple of times. But Volchansk times a powerful right hook perfectly, dropping Soji to the mat. And just as the fight is getting interesting, the bell rings, signaling the end of round 2. There's a huge scratch across Igor's torso, and I wonder if Soji has long bitch nails on his toes. That's the only explanation I can have for this. How did he get that scratch on his torso? And here I have a note. We're going to round 3! Or are we? Nope. It's the end of the fight.
I'm not gonna lie. All of a sudden, I'm like, as you know, the halftime. First of all, I'm looking for the girl again. Yeah. I'm like, I want her to fucking show the fuck back up. And all of a sudden, Igor's hand gets raised. I'm like, what?
That's right. Okay, so we went from 3 10-minute rounds to now 2 10-minute rounds. And what's this? There's judges.
Thanks for letting us know. 3 fucking fights in, man. 3 fucking fights in.
And everybody's left in the dark. Apparently, yes, the fights are only 2 10-minute rounds for this event. And at the end, it will go to judges. Who the judges are, we don't know.
Wait, they don't even show them on camera.
No.
There's nothing.
No, color me confused, but hey, at least they're making improvements here.
And they're making the right calls, because Igor had that match.
Igor's arm is raised, and he is declared the winner. Quadro sounds as confused as I was, saying, it looks like in Pride 5 we have gone to judges. Igor gets his Little League trophy, and we see some highlights of the fight. What was your thought on this fight?
Like I said, I like Soji. I've liked his previous fights. He's a good fighter. I don't think this was Soji in the fucking ring, because he was not in the ring. Let's fucking put it that way. He was doing jack shit. He was cowering, fucking laying on the ground. That was just stupid. That was stalling. That was him being full out scared of Igor. And I agree, you should be fucking full out scared of Igor, because you decided to be in a match with someone that's 40 fucking pounds of pure ass muscle against you. Because it's not like those 40 pounds are coming from like a belly or fucking something like that. Right. It's pure fucking anger.
I thought this was going to be a great fight. Instead, it was only mildly entertaining, and I wonder why Volchansk never really tried to stop Soji. I can only surmise, I have it written here now, but I'm going to change my opinion here. I can only surmise that something hinky was going on, but that's just a guess, and I think maybe Volchansk was, now that you point out, he probably was injured. And Soji, he's an exciting fighter, but what happened to that? Yeah, he was scared, he was timid.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't willing to really mix it up with him.
No, and maybe it was the fact that he was going in against someone 40 pounds. He was playing it too safe.
Yes. So, what would become of our 2 Igor Volchansk-looking fighters here? Akira Soji would be back in short order for Pride number 6, where he'll face off against American Guy Mezger, a member of the Lion's Den, which is Ken Shamrock's famous MMA training team. As for Igor Volchansk, he too would return at Pride number 6, but not before appearing in a Ukrainian regional promotion called Inner Pride in May of 1999, where he would fight in their heavyweight final tournament, beating his first opponent via TKO and then his second opponent via guillotine choke. I have a fucking typo here, and I was just trying to wonder, what did I write here? When he does return for Pride number 6, Igor will get Carlos Barreto, a Vale Tudo fighter from Brazil who had previously fought in Universal Vale Tudo Fighting. Barreto also appeared at UFC 15. More on Carlos in our next episode. See you then! And that takes us, we're 3 fights down. There's only 6 fights in this event, so that brings us to our halftime, and we're going to take a short intermission. And won't you join us while we play some video games for your amusement?
Welcome to Intermission.
Alright, we're going to do something a little different this time. We're going to play Final Fight, Capcom side-scrolling brawler. And I got these sweet, awesome Sega Saturn Virtual Pro virtual sticks I got off of eBay for a really good price. And I got a phone's ringing. Answer the phone!
Sometime in the 1990s. It matches our Pride theme, by the way.
But I got this adapter for the PC. I forget the name of it, but it lets you hook up these Saturn controllers. And you know what? These Saturn Virtual Sticks are pretty good. I like them.
I'm going to interrupt that because not only is he wearing a shirt, it's already unbuttoned. Because I can see his chest.
Oh, yeah, check this out. So that's the guy we're going to have to fight in one of the stages. And he's got his daughter, Mike Hager's daughter. Mike Hager, who's the mayor.
Yeah. Is this like based on Jesse Ventura being a fucking cop?
Yeah. Oh, they didn't show the picture of his. Oh yeah, they will.
Jessica.
All right, we see enough of this. Let's
fight.
Get going. Let's get some credits in there. Who are you gonna be?
I don't know. What are you gonna be? Do you want to be the mayor?
No, I was gonna go with Cody. Guy's pretty fast though. He's really a fast puncher.
Well, I gotta go with the mayor then.
We're going. All right.
How the hell do you play this? I forget. Now, one thing to point out. Oh shit! Why does it not hit? Oh, it's the X, Y's, and Z's. I forgot about that. One of the things that people don't. Oh my god! Stop punching me, asshole.
Yes, you can punch each other in the arcade. Like
exactly. I was about to say that, and then you fucking punch me. I want to grab him.
Oh, get the beer. Get the liquor.
1 second.
The Boston bottle. Whiskey.
I am a good commentator now. There.
I don't need any. Well, neither of us really needed help, but.
Way to go. Oh!
Stabbed him, jacked him with a knife.
Oh, suplex.
Ooh, what's in here? Oh. Ooh, I don't know what I just got, but.
Ta-da! In a later version of this game, if you play Haggard, or whatever the fuck his name is, one of the moves you can do is you grab them, you jump into the air, and you pile drive them onto the fucking floor. Oh shit, it's Patty!
I think that might have been Final Fight 2 for the Super NES, which wasn't a real arcade. I think this is the only arcade Final Fight.
Oh yeah, it was. This is the only one, you're right.
They didn't even make the sequel. Final Fight 2 only came out on the Super Nintendo.
I double fisted that door. Alright, I'm gonna go.
Who needs help?
You need help.
There you go. Yeah.
But I'll take some too.
Fucking meat on a bone?
It's a barbecue, man.
This guy wearing a radioactive jacket.
This guy's blocking. No blocking allowed on this. Oh shit! It's Giant Rastafarian. Oh.
Yeah, I love the huge sprites in this game. They're awesome. Get that fucker! Oops, sorry.
Jesus Christ, man! Get out of there!
Oh shit! Oh, that motherfucker! His name is Damned.
Damned, because he's a damn black guy. Oh Jesus!
So we just gotta tag team him. Oh fuck!
You just died, man.
Yeah, get one in front of him and one behind him, and let's just punch the shit out of him.
I don't want to punch
each other.
Jesus. Damn's almost dead. So am I. Oh Jesus! It's a chick!
No, it's actually a transvestite.
Jesus!
There we go. He's fucking dead now. And they all die once he dies.
Oh, okay.
That's right. All right, we'll do another stage here and then
go back to recording.
Yes.
Oh!
What is that guy?
Transvestite?
His name is Axel. He looks like he's dead. Give me the fucking pole. Give it to me.
Oh! I did the plow driver.
I just said to a transvestite, give me the pole. Give it to me. Cupcakes? Sushi?
Oh shit.
This game is really Japanese. Oh, son of a bitch. Who the fuck is that? Oh my god.
You asshole.
Look at this guy. Holy
shit. That's like fucking Andre the Giant went lesbian on us.
I think his name is Andor. Andor Jr. There was an Andre.
Hit him with the pole. Hit him with the pole. I'm gonna grab this knife for future reference. Look, I'm holding Gracie, and I'm showing you what.
I think we get on the train here, where we have to deal with vomit and shit and piss. This guy just sitting there. Yeah, he's gonna be fighting. Oh fuck.
Oh shit! Oh! Oh! Another suplex! Yeah! I'm awesome!
Fuck.
Oh, I just got knifed! Boom! I'm a high-flying machine!
I knew it eventually he'd come into my punches. Oh god, get out of here. You're doing fucking great. You've had like the smallest sliver of health for...
Give me food!
Get you some. Get the food!
I'm trying! More food!
It's a soda. Oh, did it disappear?
No, I think I took it. Oh, you asshole.
I've already killed Andor Jr. like twice. Why does he keep coming back?
They keep popping. Oh! Jay's just J'd you up, man. Look at the health for Andor
Yeah, I know.
Jr.
Barely fucking...
Oh! Careful.
I'm doing barely any damage to him. What the fuck?
I got him. Watch this. Bam! Oh, Jesus. Good job. Alright, move away. Don't die, man. Don't die.
Fuck, that didn't do anything to him. Oops.
It did do something to me, Axel.
It's a fucking 2P? The guy's name is 2P? J? This is like the fourth Axel I'm gonna be killing here.
Well, Axel was a very common name in the 90s.
Oh shit, a sword! There's food over here, I think.
Oh! I just got killed. Oh, but I dropped and I killed everybody.
Oh, the sword's gone. No, you fucking jack off.
I'm getting jacked. I'm getting stabbed.
God,
oh, God, I'm against everybody.
I'm gonna try Guy now. Or Cody.
Cody's awesome. Did I die? How do you start again? Oh, start. Yeah, I'm gonna try the same guy. Because I'm the mayor.
I think Cody's a little bit stronger than Guy. And a little bit less. He's not as fast. He's like the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Now we're in the bottom of the subway here. The dark people live.
Oh, we just got barreled. We just got Donkey Kong.
Why do I want diamonds?
No! The fire just burned me.
Oh, fuck. There might be food in that barrel.
Well, one of us needs it. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, you take it. Because I already ate some food.
I help you, man.
Did you just bite him?
Yes. I'm hungry. I'm hungry for justice.
Alright, here we go. Oh, we're getting in the ring!
Oh,
it's
in the
Pride
ring!
fighting! What's going on here? Who are we fighting?
Please beat Takada. Please beat Takada. Oh, it is not Takada. He has a sword.
Oh, God.
He's got two swords. Right. Oh, it's sold out.
Let's kick.
Oh! He fucking went at me.
I don't think these swords really do anything. Fuck.
No, but they're easier to play with. Get out! He's got invincibility animations. Yeah, I just got killed.
Oh, fuck. Come on, we gotta pound this fucker.
He's fucking green, man. We still haven't gotten to his actual health.
What?
Yeah, we got to his actual health. Alright. I got this guy. Oh, sorry, man. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, God! You asshole!
Oh, fucker. Come on, kill him, get him!
I'm gonna kill him here. One second.
Masamune! Give me the Masamune! Oh, yeah, that's it.
Headbutt to death, motherfucker.
Alright, let's get back to the fights.
Alright.
We're back from that. We had some fun. Hopefully you guys had fun watching two assholes play some games.
Who doesn't? Especially me. I'm so amazing at video games. So amazing. It's clear. You guys saw it.
So when we play fighting games, I have to sandbag because I would just blow you away in every fighting game.
Oh shit! Oh, I believe this sounds like a challenge for next episode. Fighting games, especially now that we have those controllers that you bought.
Yes.
Fuck yeah!
And that takes us to fight number 4 of the evening, which sees Enson Inoue from the USA, whose stance one was 210 pounds and was 32 years old at the time.
Wait. Did they run out of fighters? Did they grab Inoue, put a wig on him? Because I'm pretty sure that's what fucking happened here.
Enson, yeah. Is this Egan?
This is Egan with a fucking wig, man. I'm fucking seeing it.
Enson's MMA record as of this fight was 9 wins and 3 losses. He's facing off against Soichi Nashida from Japan, who stands 5'8", was 316 pounds, and was also 32 years old at the time. Soichi's MMA record as of this fight was 0-0. So, just who are these two Japanese fighters? If you guess that Enson is the brother of Egan, you get a potato. Enson is the younger brother to Egan, and similarly would earn a black belt in Brazilian.
Same person.
Egan started fighting professionally in MMA back in January of 1995 in the Shuto promotion, where he would win his first fight in only 1 minute and 10 seconds of the first round. He would rack up 4 straight wins before he ran into Joe Estes, a rather unknown fighter who would defeat Enson via decision in May of 1996 at Shuto, Valley Tudo Junction number 4. But Enson would have his revenge. In October of 1997, Enson would win the Shuto Light Heavyweight Championship by defeating the same Joe Estes in little over a minute via submission to punches. Enson also had battles against Frank Shamrock in 1997, a loss, and Randy Couture in 1998, a win. While in the VTJ promotion.
Holy shit, he beat Couture?
Yeah, that's the Valley Tudo Japan promotion, which was headed by a company called Sustain, which also ran the Shudo events. Valley Tudo Japan debuted in 1994 and ran until 1999, and several reunion events were held in 2009, 2012, and 2013. UFC had recently, as of last year, signed a developmental deal with Sustain and the Valley Tudo Japan brand to develop fighters and also to have a show similar to The Ultimate Fighter. Have you ever seen a reality show? Yeah. I don't know what's become of that. If anything's happened, they've never mentioned it, but there is that. What about Soichi here? He's a fat son of a bitch.
He is wearing fat people's hammer pants. I'm going to throw that out there.
Yeah,
this is, like, they're like, oh, this is his outfit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, this is hammer pants for fat people. Plain and fucking simple.
That's the only history I have on Soichi. He's a fat son of a bitch. On to the fight! Quadros opens up this bout by saying it's Japan versus Japan. But more accurately, it should be Japan versus America, or Japanese versus Japanese America. Whatever they are, we can just go with they're both Asian. Soichi is wearing some ridiculous pants, and he's apparently a grappler, according to Boss and Quadros here. And yes, he is outweighing Enson by over 100 pounds, a point that Quadros makes note of. Before the start, Enson is raring to go, to which the ref has to send him back about half a foot, getting a rise out of the crowd. Round number 1, Enson, a mere 3 steps away, rushes Soichi and quickly lays him down with a right cross. Soichi falls to the mat like a sack of shit. Boss Rutan is simply beside himself.
And Enson coming out blazing with that right hand.
That's it. Well, look at this.
What a surprise that was because we thought Nishida was going to be the puncher.
Enson mounts on top of Soichi and wraps up his neck before deciding instead to punch him a few more times to stretch the fight out. Soichi, apparently untrained in any type of self-defense.
In any type of any fucking fighting at all. You can't fucking tell me this guy's a fucking grappler, because he would know what the fuck to do.
He just lays there like a beached whale. Boss Written says, good defense.
Oh, good defense.
Yeah, I guess.
Enson pounds away at him, and Soichi rolls, letting Enson sink in a rear naked choke. Soichi quickly taps out at just 24 seconds of the first round. Enson Inoue, winner via submission.
Alright, two things. First, once again, why the fuck do we have this as a card fight?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we throwing this fat bastard in there, huh? Second thing, I'm pretty sure he got his advice on how to go into a fight by the Takada fucking dojo. You know it, I fucking know it. God, it was fucking, I fucking blanked, man. I'm like, oh, look, there's a fight. Oh, wait, no, there's not.
Yes. Boss rightly says that Soichi had no business being in the ring, and Quadros and Boss both shit all over him.
Yeah, that was he had no business here in the ring, I guess.
I don't think so. Not against Enson Inoue. No. Because Enson just took him right out. He gave up his neck, had his chin up high. He obviously didn't understand the ground game at all. Enson went right through that guy.
Yeah, like he should. He did a good job, took care of it, get it over with. Come on, man.
Which they should. I'm glad they fucking do.
And what is this, a fucking circus? Enson Inoue has a dog in the ring. A dog! And the dog has tattoos shaved into its fur. What the fuck is going on with this fight?
Wait, was that Enson's? I thought that was part of the next event.
No, that was the...
Oh, Jesus. I got confused there, but I don't know, man. It's like, fuck, it was more of a show than the actual fucking fight.
Wow, what a terrible fucking showing. Do you have any further thoughts on this?
Yeah, get that fat bastard out of here. That's my only thought, man. Like, I never thought I'd say this, but I full-heartedly agree with Drunken Boss and Quadro. That son of a bitch should never have been here.
Yes. So, what would become of our two definitely should-be fighters here? Enson Inoue would return at the first Pride Grand Prix of 2000, which will happen 8 months after Pride number 5 here, where he will face off against Mark Kerr.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
He'll also be in a couple more Pride events after that, so stay tuned for those. As for Soichi, he wouldn't fight another MMA fight for nearly 3 years, where at Pride the Best, Volume 1, he gets to be in Pride
The best fucking loser? The quickest fucking fight? Jesus fucking Christ!
I have to say that again. Soichi will appear in Pride the Best, Volume 1. Why? Why is he the best?
Because he has the best hammer pants I've ever seen.
And again, that's not a recap show. That is an actual MMA event name for Pride.
Oh my god.
He would return for revenge against Taiyuki Okada.
I think I can foresee the future. He loses!
Now here we have an exhibition jiu-jitsu match with the gi uniform. And it's going to be Royler Gracie pictured there, and Hickson Gracie there, and he's being having his hand shaken by the great Japanese silver medalist in judo, Ogawa.
Now it's the time during the event that everyone hits the pisser, as two Gracies, Hickson and Royler, are going to treat us and the crowd to a BJJ exhibition.
BJ. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be full out frontally honest. The moment I started hearing what was about to happen, I went to YouTube and started watching other shit.
That's okay. I'm going to cut you a break here. I'll talk about it in a minute. Before the start of the exhibition, Naoya Ogawa, famous Japanese judo fighter and former Olympic silver medalist, enters the ring to much excitement from the crowd. And he hands out bouquets to our two exhibitionists here. We'll get to see Ogawa, who is a hulking 6'4", big for a Japanese man, in Pride number 6, where he'll face off against Gary Big Daddy Goodridge.
I want to point out at this time, when he's handing the flowers, is when I am really disappointed that this is not wrestling. Because it would have been the best moment to just like start kicking them and a fight starts, like a 3-way fight. I'm like, oh my god, why isn't this happening?
They call that a Pearl Harbor. when that guy comes in and suddenly As they prepare for the match, a microphone is set up and a t-shirt clad Japanese man approaches it, to which Boss Rutan begins singing the U.S. national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see?
I don't think so.
Which Quadro says, I don't think so.
Why is Boss singing the U.S. national anthem? You know,
yeah, isn't he Dutch?
Yeah, he is. That's so fucking surprising about it. There's so many other things. You know what? We've heard Boss do amazing shitty karaoke. That is a wasted chance.
Yes. Funny stuff from Boss and Quadros here. Konbanwa, Hickson says into the mic, which is good evening in Japanese. He then says that today they are not there to fight, but to put on a jiu-jitsu demonstration split into 2 parts, a self-defense portion and then a sparring portion.
Konbanwa. Today we are here not to fight, but to make a jiu-jitsu demonstration. This demonstration will have 2 parts. The first part is the self-defense, who is more applicable on the street. The second part is the sparring part, who use in jiu-jitsu competition.
He hopes we enjoy it.
I'm changing the channel.
Well, Hickson, that's very debatable. We're not going to cover this demonstration in full. Instead, it will be a condensed recap. Are you ready? Part 1 of the exhibition sees our 2 Gracies toss and roll each other around, showing off various chokes and arm bars. During this, some jagoff in the crowd shouts something and the whole crowd laughs and applauds. What he said, no fucking clue.
I'm watching Overwatch videos at this point, so yes.
After a demonstration involving a stick, followed by a knife, Boss Rutan snarkily quips, now the gun comes out.
Now the gun comes out.
Getting a good laugh out of Quadros. Part 2 of the exhibition is the sparring segment, which begins with both men exchanging a submission before they really go at it, in a sparring sense. And while I was bored with the first part of the exhibition, I did appreciate and enjoy when they were actually semi-going after each other here in the sparring. We get some shots of Japanese fighters intently watching, including Alexander Otsuka, Murakami Kazunari. Remember this dipshit from Pride 1? He beat the fuck out of John Dixon. Just an FYI reminder. Kazunari will return for one more Pride. That's Pride 10, Return of the Warriors. Part 2 of the exhibition ends after Hoyler is submitted twice by Hickson. Hickson then returns to the mic saying he was very happy to give us this demonstration, and then he says some other stuff about the Gracies, jiu-jitsu, and everybody went home happy. Not a single person was sitting.
At this point is when I turn back on.
With this whole exhibition out of the way, let's get back to the fights! Number 5 of the evening sees, wow, Kazushi Sakuraba, who stands 6 foot, was 183 pounds and was 29 years old at the time. Sakuraba's MMA record as of this fight was 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. He's facing off against, wow, Vitor Belfort from Brazil, who stands 6 foot, was 205 pounds, and was 22 years old at the time. Vitor's MMA record as of this fight was 6-1. We already know a whole lot about Sakuraba and his creepy gazes, but what about this unknown Brazilian they call the Phenom?
I know something about him. He's a beautiful motherfucker.
Yes.
Like, I'm pretty sure if Hitler was ever reborn in Brazil, this motherfucker would be the Uberman. Like,
You just see his wife, a supermodel, a Brazilian supermodel.
I'm not fucking surprised. He's out of her league, man. Fuck.
Vitor Belfort was born in Rio de Janeiro and began boxing at the age of 12 under the tutelage of Claudio Coelho.
Remember, if they're in Brazil, they're street fighting all the time.
Yes. Claudio Coelho, the famous Brazilian boxing trainer. Vitor was then recruited by Carlson Gracie and trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. At the age of 17, Vitor was already competing with the adults. When Carlson Gracie opened a BJJ academy in West Hollywood, Vitor was brought along and was made Carlson's primary marketing tool to attract attention. A role Vitor accepted with open arms, saying at the time that he wanted to show the world that the Gracie name didn't end with Hoist, and that Carlson deserved his just dues in the BJJ world. Vitor would have his first professional MMA fight in Super Brawl, the Hawaiian promotion, where in October of 1996, at only 19 years old, he would defeat his opponent, John Hess, in only 12 seconds via KO.
Wow.
Vitor then set his sights upon the UFC, where he would debut at UFC 12, and with 2 TKO victories coming under a minute each. It was then on to UFC 13, where he put down Tank Abbott with a TKO, also coming in under a minute. It was at UFC 15 in October of 1997 that Vitor would get his first taste of defeat, as the natural Randy Couture would stop Vitor via TKO at 8 minutes and 16 seconds of the first round. Undeterred, Vitor would fight in 2 more UFC events. At UFC Japan in December of 1997, he would defeat Joe Charles via armbar in the first round. Then at UFC Brazil on October 16th of 1998, he would face off against the axe murderer Vanderlei Silva, where it took Vitor only 44 seconds to dispatch of his opponent.
Like I told you, fucking perfect ass specimen, man.
And now Vitor has come back to Japan, bringing us here to Pride number 5. There's a huge video package for Sakuraba, and clearly Sakuraba should be the main star of Pride. I don't know why Takada insists, and I'll get more into this later. Why is Takada the face of the promotion? Sakuraba should be the face of the promotion. He's a fighter. He's a legit fighter.
He's a great fucking fighter. And every time we see him, it's a great fucking fight.
And he's holding himself back being at the Takada dojo.
Which is, it's hilarious because, you know, earlier on, give me a second. Let me find my note because I had this. I believe it's actually in the first fight. They're talking about, what was his name?
Minoru?
Yeah, Toyonaga.
Yeah, how he gave up his back like something.
Well, no, but like they said that he was from the Takeda dojo, and then Quadro went to say that such greats from the Takeda dojo, and the only name he could come up with is Sakuraba, and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Yeah, Sakuraba is just honestly just crippling himself being part of that fucking dojo.
Yes. Before the fight, Quadros notes how Sakuraba had trouble with Alan Goes, a Carlson Gracie trained fighter, and now he's facing another one here with Belfort. Boss says Belfort has the fastest hands in NHB, which stands for No Holds Barred.
Because Vitor has got lightning fist, boss.
He's got pretty much the fastest hands here in NHB. If he's going to use him, it's going to be a phenomenal fight.
Belfort with stripes shaved into his head, and boy does it look cool. I mean stupid. Really, really stupid. But he does look fucking jacked.
I don't know what you're talking about. Because I saw that, I actually got that haircut myself.
It looks stupid. Really, really stupid. Round number 1. The round opens with gibberish from Boss.
When boom.
I'm telling you, man, tequila's getting to him. Or sake, technically, since they're quote-unquote in Japan.
Yes. Measured circling from our competitors. There's a low leg kick by Sakuraba that is checked by Belfort. High kick attempt by Sakuraba. And what's this? A spin by Sakuraba.
What's this? A spin by Sakuraba.
That's actually a quote on what Quadro said.
I know, and it's like, they were so surprised. So was I, because it didn't leak jack shit.
Another high kick by Sakuraba, and that little trickster immediately shoots down for a leg. Vitor sprawls and gets a leg of his own. He trips up Sakuraba and winds up on top of his back. Sakuraba frantically goes for an arm as Vitor ejects from his position and stands over Sakuraba, swinging away at Sakuraba. Sakuraba turtles up and manages to grab Vitor's right hand and won't let go. And Vitor throws about 10 lefts at Sakuraba's head, who is blocking most of them. Sakuraba stands and takes some stiff shots from Vitor, including a left uppercut that looks like it drops Sakuraba, who once again goes for a leg, but Vitor sprawls. Vitor gets back up and clubs away at Sakuraba's head. Sakuraba runs and goes for a leg again, but Vitor won't have none of it. But
It was a shitty start for Sakuraba, let's be honest.
Yes. But Vitor finally runs out of steam as his punches has become a little less vicious. Sakuraba manages to get a leg, and just like that, Vitor is put onto his back. Wow, what a sequence. I'm going to include the whole part here. It's fucking awesome. Great stuff. Vitor now trying to catch his breath as Sakuraba plans his next move. Vitor with axe kicks on Sakuraba's head as Sakuraba tries to advance position. Sakuraba completely catches Vitor off guard and delivers 2 nice right punches. Then again with a left and right before he loses position and stands up, holding Vitor's feet. Vitor sends up a couple of up kicks. Sakuraba gets back down into Vitor's guard, and it looks like Sakuraba's badly damaged ear, which is taped up, has started bleeding through the tape as Quadros touches on this point, just as I was writing it down. This is the same ear that in 2010 would nearly be ripped off in a fight at an event called Dynamite. The doctor would stop the fight and Sakuraba would lose. Body shot by Sakuraba, up kick by Vitor, then leg kick by Sakuraba, who is back to standing up. Another up kick by Vitor, followed by more leg kicks from Sakuraba.
It's I know Boss and Quadro mention it later on, but it is at this point is when I don't notice it is with Sakuraba's last fight, he was not prepared to deal with someone that was laying down. Mm-hmm. And all those leg kicks he got hit with. Yeah. You could tell that they were connecting. Yeah. This one, you could tell son of a bitch learned his lesson.
Yes.
Because he was knowing how to take those kicks. And once again, he was actually kicking back. That was the most surprising part.
Sakuraba tries the same cartwheel spin he did previously in Pride 4, but amounts to nothing. Looked good though. 5 minutes have passed in round number 1. Sakuraba looks upset as he wipes his face and looks like he wants to kill Vitor's thigh with a kick. More aggressive leg kicks by Sakuraba, followed by more, and even more. Nice up kick by Vitor. Vitor's thigh meat is looking well tenderized at this point.
I'm pretty sure kicks like that is what caused Igor's fucking bruise, by the way.
Yes. And despite all of this leg kicking action, it would seem we're at a stalemate. And the ref doesn't have the balls to step in and stand them up. Sakuraba seems happy to chop away at Vitor's legs, and Vitor likewise is happy to lay on the mat and just watch this happen.
I mean, Sakuraba keeps doing things while Vitor is still on the floor, which means the ref is not gonna go in and make Vitor get up. That's the main thing.
4 minutes pass here, and we're still here with Sakuraba standing above Vitor. Sakuraba delivers another shot at Vitor's gut, and then out of nowhere, Sakuraba passes Vitor's left leg and gets on top of him, sending lefts and rights down onto Vitor, who scrambles to his knees, getting a hold of Sakuraba and standing up as Sakuraba still delivers strikes. Back to standing, and out of nowhere, the bell rings, signaling the end of round number 1. Quadros pretty much says that the whole round was Sakuraba's, and that initial flurry from Belfort didn't do anything.
Sakuraba was the one who initiated the attacks. He was the one who controlled that round early on. Vitor came after him with a flurry of punches, and nary a single punch landed. Then Sakuraba completely turned the tables on him,
saying that none of those punches really connected. I think Sakuraba did took some damage, but we'll say that 80% of the round was definitely in Sakuraba's favor.
I also want to point out when Sakuraba got into Belfort's guard right towards the end, it honestly almost looked like he was massaging his shoulders. Like, you know, in between strikes, he was holding his hands out to the guy's shoulder.
Yeah.
And he was honestly looking at him like, are you giving him a fucking massage? Is that what's fucking going down here?
I think it's at this point that Vitor regrets his haircut. Meanwhile, Sakuraba is all smiles in his corner. Belfort was definitely a force to be reckoned with, and so far, Sakuraba has neutralized that force, and he has something to be very happy about. That takes us to round 2! Sakuraba opens the round with a cheeky tease of a kick before popping Vitor with a straight right. Big rise from the crowd.
Well, let's see what Vitor has.
Look at that. A fake right roundhouse kick, straight right.
Sakuraba is ultra confident, and he playfully keeps Vitor guessing, faking a takedown before trying to punch Vitor again.
He definitely came out to this second round like dynamite, man.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. He's doing really well.
Spinning back kick by Sakuraba that looks like it connects pretty good. And the only response from Vitor is to flee before he decides to fall to the mat. Sakuraba, displeased by this, asks the ref to stand him up, and the ref obliges him. Belfort decides to fall to the mat again, maybe attempting to goad Sakuraba down into his guard, though it's apparent Sakuraba is not going to fall for it, and Sakuraba tells the ref this time, it's okay, don't stand him up, I'll just kick him.
Yeah, and fuck, he did. Well, I mean, he's doing the same Soji strategy of trying to buy time by being on the floor.
Sakuraba chops away viciously at Vitor's left thigh, and Belfort simply has no answer. Sakuraba continues the kick and even punch at Vitor's legs. Suddenly the ref jumps in so he can stand Vitor up. Vitor gets up on rubbery legs.
I mean, after that many kicks, after how bruised his legs are,
Oh my god.
I would not get up on him.
Another spinning back kick by Sakuraba, and then, after some tomfoolery with his footwork, trying to trick Vitor, he delivers another back kick. Vitor stands very still with little to no output. He is pretty much a kicking bag for Sakuraba.
And I know Boss and Quadro made comments about this, and I agree with them. Nobody told him, and maybe he just didn't expect it, because Sakuraba, up until this match, he was never that big of a striker.
No. No.
And then
no.
he comes out this match and he's striking and he's kicking out. Nobody would expect that shit. So you don't train against that.
That first fight he had with Tiger White, he didn't throw a single punch in that whole fight.
I know.
And then the fight with Alan Goes, he threw a couple, but it was still mostly a grappling match.
So
the fight with Carlos Newton, again, it was all grappling.
Yeah, exactly. So you would never train strikes against someone like Sakuraba. And then he comes out to this fight and it's nothing but amazing fucking strikes.
Yes. Sakuraba now works Vitor's right leg, sending stiff kicks to his thigh. Vitor's corner shouts out instructions in both English and Portuguese.
It's the kicks that are making the difference in this fight, and it's all Sakuraba doing the kicking.
Sakuraba should go for the body shots also. Whoa.
Confuse the guy, why don't you? And someone in his corner keeps saying, "Take charge! Take charge!"
Vitor has done nothing.
At the 5-minute mark of round 2, Sakuraba lands a front push kick. As Vitor's corner shouts, "Get off first!"
Sakuraba.
Get off first, Vitor.
Sakuraba wades in with a left and right, though neither really connect. And just a note here, Vitor's love life is also dictated to the "get off first"
Get off first, Vitor.
Get off first. That's how it is. See, that joke was worth the payout.
No fucking shit. That was a good one.
Vitor looks very robotic with a left and right, and there was no pep at all in his punches. And I have to wonder here, is Vitor hurt? Vitor has started to bleed from the top of his head, and likely due to his leg hurting, he falls to the mat to get a rest. Boss calls this, "How do I lose some fans in Japan?"
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's the legs, I'm telling you.
Yeah. He just doesn't know what to do.
How do I lose some fans in Japan?
As a strategy. Sakuraba with a punch to Vitor's muscled belly.
I mean, Vitor has been doing jack shit for the second round. Like, after that, like, first round, like, at the beginning when he attacked.
That flurry?
Yeah. Other than that, he's done nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yes. Sakuraba rushes in, passes Vitor's guard, and delivers some punches. Vitor responds by grabbing Sakuraba and getting to his feet. Vitor with Sakuraba's right leg wrapped up, while Sakuraba prepares for a Kimura. As nothing happens here, the ref steps in and breaks them up. 3 minutes remain in round number 2. It appears as though Vitor has simply given up. He falls right back to the mat and looks up at Sakuraba, to which Sakuraba tries to deliver an axe kick followed by a leg kick.
I mean, Vitor, even the way he lays down, like, he puts his hands behind his fucking head, like, he's just quote-unquote relaxing. And he's getting beat the fuck out.
It appears as though Sakuraba mocks Vitor, waving his hands over him like a magician before he punches Vitor's leg. First the right, then the left, and again does the same thing. Then suddenly, Sakuraba examines the bruising on Vitor's leg, perhaps planning his next strike. The ref jumps in to stand Vitor up, and we have 1 minute left in the fight. There's a head kick by Sakuraba, but it's blocked. Sakuraba leaps in with a solid right hook, followed by a grazing left. Vitor falls to the mat shortly after. Sakuraba now full-on trolling Vitor as he backs up to get a running start before he leaps into the air for a double stomp kick on Vitor's head, and then he aggressively attacks Vitor's legs once more.
That was fucking beautiful. Like, Sakuraba was getting creative, and it's just magnificent.
And then again takes a few steps back so he can run and jump onto Vitor's head, knocking the cameraman down to the mat in the process. And apparently between Pride 4 and this event, the rules of Pride have morphed, into the rules we'll all know and love. Stomp kicks and soccer kicks to the head of a downed opponent. Thank you. That's what Pride is all about. And just like that, the bell rings, signaling the end of the fight. And wow, I just have to say, what a performance by Sakuraba. There is no doubt who won this.
No.
Judges are not needed, but the judges give it to Sakuraba anyway.
Immediately. There was no contest there.
What were your thoughts on this fight?
I was impressed with Sakuraba, man. He fucking learned from his last fight. His last fight, he was baffled by when his opponent stayed on his back and couldn't do jack shit about it. This time, he got fucking creative and fucking jumped into a fucking stomp kick. That was fucking awesome.
I'm surprised by Vitor's performance here. He came out with that initial flurry, and then after that, he checked out of the fight.
Yeah.
And I think this next bit of information I have might explain why. In an interview conducted in July of 2000 for a Brazilian newspaper, Vitor would say that he broke his hand in the first round.
Oh!
Which explains his unwillingness to punch after the first flurry. And perhaps the pain and being scared of further damage made him pretty much submit to Sakuraba's control.
But see, that to me is a problem. Alright, you broke your hand. If you're not going to be fighting full out, then just call it quits, man. There's no need
You're right. Yeah.
There's no need to fucking pull it through. Yeah.
Ref,
you know what? Because honestly, if you break your hand or you break your foot or whatever and you walk away from a fight, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with you staying in there doing absolutely jack shit.
Yes.
You know?
I agree. So, what would become with our two legendary fighters here? Sakuraba would be back for Pride number 6, which would take place a mere 3 months later on July 4th of 1999. That's right, America's birthday. So to celebrate the greatest day of all time, Sakuraba will be taking on Ebenezer Fontes Braga, another Brazilian, which would enter the contest with a record of 10-3. As for Belfort, he wouldn't fight again until Pride number 9, New Blood, which would take place on June 4th of 2000, meaning he would have over a year layoff from fighting, obviously due to his broken hand. At Pride 9, he will have a very formidable foe in Gilbert Ivel, a rings veteran, who would enter the fight with 22 wins and 5 losses. Get well soon, Vitor, and we'll see you at Pride number 9. Takes us to the final fight of the evening.
I'm out. Fuck this. Fuck this. Is that a fucking Takada fucking montage. Are you really fucking showing me a montage of his fucking stupid shit?
I will get onto this bit in just a second. Our final fight of the evening sees Mark the Hammer Coleman from the USA, who stands 6'1", was 245 pounds, and was 34 years old at the time. Coleman's MMA record as of this fight was 6 wins and 3 losses. He's facing off against a returning Nobuhiko Takada, who stands 6 foot, was 210 pounds, and was 36 years old at the time. Takada's MMA record, meanwhile, was 1 and 2. And wow, what an intro package for this fight. The Japanese anime drama is high with this one, as dramatic music is played on top of a recap of Takada's bouts in Pride. Takada has a lot to prove with this fight, according to this intro. I mean, it's super fucking dramatic.
First of all, fuck Takada and his outfits for coming in. They are the gayest fucking thing since they called this event Pride. And second of all, why would you show an intro of your quote-unquote superstar getting hella beaten? Not once, but twice.
Because they want to build up that this fight means a lot and he has to win to prove that he's worth of anything, right?
He's not worth shit! His dojo fucking sucks balls! I mean, Jesus.
And with that, we know a lot about Takada. But what about this guy, Coleman? Mark the Hammer Coleman was born in Fremont, Ohio, and started freestyle wrestling in high school.
And then he went on to Vegas to do a Kurt Angle lookalike? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. In college, he would go on to become a 2-time Mid-American Conference champion at Miami University before transferring to Ohio State and capturing an NCAA wrestling championship. Coleman would also wrestle for the USA at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona, placing 7th overall. Then it was on to the UFC, where at UFC 10 on July 12th of 1996, he would defeat 3 opponents in one night. Marty Horstein via submission to punches, Gary Goodridge via submission to exhaustion, and Dandy Don Fry via TKO.
Wait, is his name actually fucking Dandy?
No.
Ah, Jesus.
That's his nickname.
Oh my god. Is it because he's a dandy? Because that's fucking hilarious.
Wait till you see him. You think that Dan Severn is the old-timey boxer guy?
Yeah.
Don Fry went to Dan Severn's school of how to look like an old-timey boxer guy. We'll see Don Fry in Pride later, and he has a legendary fucking bout. Just wait till we get to it.
Alright.
Already a UFC winner, Coleman would return for UFC 11 in September of that same year. This time would defeat 2 opponents in one night. Julian Sanchez via choke submission and Brian Johnston via submission to punches. Coleman had become a back-to-back UFC tournament winner. Next was UFC 12 on February 7th of 1997, where he would fight Dan the Beast Severn for the newly minted UFC Heavyweight Championship belt. At the 2-minute and 57 mark of the first round, Severn would submit to Coleman via headlock/headscarf choke. On to UFC 14, where Coleman would defend his heavyweight belt against Maurice Smith. And in the fight of the year for 1997, Coleman would lose to decision after 21 minutes of straight fighting. Coleman would then fight at 2 more UFC events, but he would lose both those bouts. First to Pete Williams via head kick KO at UFC 17, and then to Pedro Hizzo via split decision at UFC 18. And that brings us here to Pride number 5. Pre-fight, Quadros and Boss wonder aloud why the hell Takada would take a fight with Coleman. Obviously, someone who should easily smash Takada to death. On to the fight! Round number 1. The fight opens up with a circling Takada as Coleman tries to walk him down. A Takada chant breaks out.
Well, he goes Takada, but I can't picture Takada being able to go the distance on this one. It's going to be a different fight than Hicks and Gracie because Coleman fights totally different.
Yeah,
Coleman's gonna.
I can't remember, but I don't think there was a Sakuraba chant in any of his fights. Why do the Japanese people love Takada so much?
I mean, maybe it's because of his pro wrestling. It sure as shit is not because of his fucking MMA fights.
No, they chant for Takada, but I don't hear him chant for Sakuraba. That's the guy.
But that's the thing is because of the wrestling. Because
it might
wrestling is a lot more of a chant sport. MMA is not. Yeah, Sakuraba was never that big in the wrestling.
And it might be a looks thing. I think Takada has that
like hero kind of thing.
Yeah,
like he's the good guy.
He's got that build and he's got that classic Japanese look. Sakuraba is kind of awkward and kind of trollish looking. I'm not putting Sakuraba down, but
yeah, no,
Takada's a better looking guy.
Oh, he fucking is. He's not bad looking.
He spends more time grooming himself than he does training. We know that for sure.
No fucking shit.
Coleman shoots in for a takedown, and the fighters wind up in the ropes, where Takada blatantly hooks the ropes and refuses to let go.
And that's the thing is, this is someone who's fucking holding onto the ropes for dear fucking life. Yes. And the ref is trying to get him out. He's not doing it.
The ref smacks his hand, probably causes bruising with all the times he's slapping Takada's arm.
No, he smacks it, like, tries to move it away, and Sakuraba's like, nope, it's staying there.
This obviously impeding Coleman eventually leads to Takada getting a yellow card.
In less than a minute, a yellow card. Like, honestly, Takeda's a terrible fighter, but fuck if that's not ridiculous, getting a yellow card that soon.
So what does this yellow card mean to the fight? According to Quadros, it will have a negative effect on any decision if this fight goes to the judges. The fight is restarted and the fighters circle each other as Quadros anonymously states Coleman is going to take him down, followed by Boss Rutan saying 100% sure.
Coleman's going to take him down.
100% sure.
And finally, Coleman does, shooting in for a double leg. Lift and a big slam down. Coleman is in Takada's full guard. Coleman cross faces Takada and delivers a couple of light punches, and then some more strikes to Takada's body. Coleman goes for a neck crank, but he fails to pull back and doesn't plant his knees on the mat, which means there's no pressure here being applied. The neck crank, also known as the can opener, is now mostly regarded as just a positioning tool to get your opponent to react, and only amateurs tap out. Coleman releases the neck crank, and both Quadros and Boss are confused on why the hell he did.
Takada has got to move on this.
Why did he let it go?
I don't understand.
Coleman tries to rain down right hands, but none of them really connect. Coleman then headbutts Takada's gut, eliciting a warning from the ref. Coleman pushes Takada's legs up and then manages to pass the side control. Coleman then knees Takada's hip and ass, followed by knees to the upper back. We get a shot of Mark Kerr, who's dressed in a very spiffy gray suit. Coleman stays busy on top here, but isn't accomplishing much for all his work. At the 5-minute mark, Coleman throws an elbow to the body, which is illegal. Elbows in Pride are and never will be legal in any position or to any part of the body. It's one of the rules that made Pride wholly different from the other MMA organizations. No elbows, but you can fucking stomp somebody's head. Coleman gets into mount, works the body, and then sits up to rain down hell. But Takada spins, giving up his back. Coleman sneaks in a nice punch under Takada's arm, and Takada stands, turns, and faces Coleman, and the fighters passionately hug each other. Takada raises his legs up and pulls guard, to which Coleman slams him down to the mat. I've never seen Takada really exhibit any kind of punching.
I think, what can Takada do? He's not going to be able to outpunch Mark Coleman. I've never seen Takada really exhibit any kind of punching.
A comment from Quadros in reference to what Takada can do against Coleman here.
Well, in truth, we haven't seen Takada do shit. Ever. Because he hasn't done shit. Ever.
Coleman swings away, lightly connecting with a few punches, and then tries to deliver some more very light strikes. Coleman passes Takada's guard again, this time moving to a kind of north-south position before falling down into side mount. Coleman then applies the headscarf, the same headlock-like choke that he used to submit Dan Severn for the UFC belt. Boss Rutan comments that this is so easy to escape.
Yeah, but I've never seen this. This is so easy to escape.
Well, he beat Dan Severn with this, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who he beats. But
Coleman arcs back a little bit, applying some pressure, then simply lets go. He then traps Takada's arm and gives Takada the softest punches I have ever seen. Takada rolls out of this position, momentarily stands, but Coleman chases him down and body locks him from behind, dragging Takada down to the mat.
Yeah, Takada's been doing jack shit other than being a glorified punching bag.
Yes. Takada is once again on his back. Coleman gets to side mount and then teases an Americana as the crowd suddenly reacts. And then suddenly the bell rings, signaling the end of round one.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to do this and I completely forgot to. I wanted to go back and see if that was an actual 10 minutes. Because it did not feel like it.
No, it was super fast.
Yeah, it did not feel like a 10-minute round.
I didn't think about that, but I'm like, ooh, this round's over already.
Yeah, like when the bell rang and they're like, oh, look, it's Takada. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
This doesn't feel like a full fight.
Quadros calls Takada lucky that the bell rang, as Coleman would have been able to finish him with the Americana given more time. Doubtful. Round number 2. Now Takada is walking Coleman down?
And by the way, at this point, it's when I notice Coleman looks like a fucking tomato. Like, holy fuck, this guy's red.
Oh, yes.
Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
When his body starts working, it turns super red.
Like, holy hell, red.
Takada's walking Coleman down. What the fuck is going on here? Takada delivers 2 leg kicks. Takada keeps up the pressure and delivers another leg kick. Takada goes for one more leg kick, but Coleman's had enough and shoots in and takes him down, landing in side control. And then conveniently, Coleman moves himself into Takada's guard.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Quadro and Boss both called it out.
Yes.
I'm watching this and I'm like, you have side control, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm just gonna let you go while I reposition myself for guard where you can actually stop me. What the fuck?
You didn't hear this, but I did. Takada softly whispers, "Thanks, Marks."
get that kick, Judge. That's it.
There it is. A very
Now
swift,
punish.
very swift double leg.
Thanks, Marks.
What is he doing?
It goes into the guard of Takada.
Coleman decides to try and punch Takada from the ends of Takada's feet, generating no power and not even getting close to connecting. Takada holds onto Coleman's wrists, and Coleman resigns himself to punching Takada's fat thigh. Coleman attempts to step up and over Takada's guard instead of merely pushing Takada's legs to the side and passing the normal way. And inadvertently, Coleman leaves his foot exposed to Takada. Takada sticks Coleman's foot into his armpit, hooks his heel, and applies a heel hook. Coleman rolls, but fails to escape. Coleman, stuck here, teases he's going to tap, and then a second later, he does.
No. He's giving it. What the hell? Oh, no. Coleman's got to pull. He's got to get out. He's got to get out of this.
Oh, no.
There's no. What? Wait a minute. He's. Oh, no. But Coleman has been healed by Nobuhiko Takada. I don't believe this.
Wow. This is crazy. He was doing so good.
How the hell did that happen? Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure I haven't seen anything this fucking fake since I watched wrestling. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
And Nobuhiko Takada is the glorious winner via heel hook submission at 1 minute and 44 seconds of the second round. Quadros and Boss are flabbergasted, and Quadros himself seems in denial what he just saw. This absolutely defies reality, Quadros says, and Coleman can barely look Takada in the eyes as they embrace after the fight. There is something more going on here. But before we get into all that, final thoughts on this fight.
You know what? That's the main thing. You have a first round where Coleman doesn't let up. And, you know, and as you were doing the play-by-play, it made a lot more sense to me because, yeah, Coleman's not letting up, but he's not really creating that much from what he should be doing, because he should be just destroying Takada.
From those positions, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. And that's the thing, is Takada sucks balls. Yeah. That's above all, that is really the moral of Pride, is Takada sucks balls. And that's the thing, is this entire first round, amazing for Coleman. And then the second round, fuck, I'm not a fighter. Fuck, I'm crippled. And I wouldn't fucking stand like that. I wouldn't fucking put my foot right where he can grab it.
Right.
It's like,
no,
that's like fucking stupid.
It is like there was a script to follow. Round 1, Coleman dominates him, and then round 2, Takada musters up the courage, and now he's walking down Coleman. The guy just fucking had you down the whole round, and now Takada's walking Coleman's backing away from him.
And it's ridiculous. It's just so many things in that, especially in that second round, man. Just watching that second round is just fucking stupid. It's like, Coleman was dominating, and he did the rookiest fucking things there ever were.
Yes. If this was supposed to look like a real fight, they shouldn't have had a wrestler write it.
No shit, man. It was terrible.
Oh, this is one of the most notorious alleged fixed fights in Pride. And even before either of the fighters ever said anything regarding the fight, fight fans and pundits alike all believe that this was fixed, and obviously the evidence of a fixed fight here is glowing like my sheets after a Saturday night of furious masturbating.
Under dark light, or is your fucking, or are you fucking that radioactive where it fucking shines regardless?
I mean, under a dark light. Coleman was passive, even gentle with his punches, and not aggressive in the times that it mattered most. He had huge opportunities to lay waste to Takada while he was in side mount. Even mount, he was mounted there for a minute. And that's hugely out of character for him. But that's all just circumstantial stuff. What about proof? In February of 2010, in an interview with Heavy.com, in response to a question on the Takada fight and it being an alleged fixed, Coleman would only say, "It was what it was. I needed to support my family. They guaranteed me another fight after that, and I needed that security. It was what it was. I'm going to leave it at that."
Jesus.
And further, in response to this fight actually being a pro wrestling work, Coleman would say it's a subject he really doesn't want to discuss. Takada, for his part, would never comment on this fight, or at least not in any English sources I could find. I would need to rely on some Japanese fans. Has Takada ever said anything about this? Has that ever been commented on? Help us out here.
It was a terrible fight, and honestly, why the fuck is he still main eventing cards?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Here's what I find funny. In a fixed fight, Takada needed to cheat in that first round by hooking the ropes. Is Takada legitimately an imbecile? The fight's fixed, so why are you hooking the ropes?
Because that makes it look like you're actually against, you're in a bad position.
Yes.
Because you got a yellow card. Oh goodness, if this goes on the full 20 minutes, you might lose.
Yes, that's what I have written. Exactly what I have written. Is Takada legitimately an imbecile, or was it all for show? And here's where I have another comment. This should not be the main event. Sakuraba versus Belfort should have been the main event. This should have been maybe the fight before. But it all goes back to, why is Takada the bigger name in Japan? Why isn't Sakuraba lifted up and saying, this guy is a fucking awesome fighter?
Sakuraba's actually winning fights, and that's the fucking part about it.
Yeah.
He's been winning and fuck, you know what? Fuck it. Even Soji, he's not that bad.
No.
His fights are decent. Not this one, fuck you. Not in this event. But for the most part, they're not bad. But then you have fucking Takada, who, fuck, man, just, he's shit. He's jack fucking shit.
I think the problem is Takada's ego. He simply, I don't think it's his promotion for one thing.
Well, and I understand that, but at some point you gotta stop being retarded. And if you get beat 2 matches almost in a row that fucking badly, right, and then you have to start paying people, don't make it obvious by being the fucking main event.
Right. But, and here's another thing, is I think Takada has realized his hard work at training will just get him nothing. When he trained, he actually trained for that second Gracie fight, he still lost.
Well,
so he's like...
And he would have lost. But that's the thing is, I doubt that. I doubt that he trained that much.
No,
because that second Gracie fight honestly lasted as long as it did. Not because Takada was better, but because Gracie was worse.
Yeah, you're right. You did say that, and I agree.
And you know, that's the thing is, it wasn't because Takada was amazing. It's because Gracie's like, well, I beat this fucker in like 10 seconds last time.
Here's Gracie's training: grabbing the bottle of beer, fucking lifting it to his mouth, and repeating.
I remember when I beat this fucker. Chug chug.
Yes. So, what would become with our 2 super fighting stars here? Takada would return for the main event at Pride number 6, where he will draw what? Mark Kerr! You heard that right, folks. Mark fucking Kerr versus Takada.
Oh, God.
Will more shenanigans be in store for us?
I hope not. I like Mark Kerr.
Or will Mark Kerr buck the big dollar payday and take Takada down and show him for what he really is?
He fucking should, man. I'm really hoping he does.
You'll have to tune in for episode 6 to find out, fight fans. As for Coleman, his gift heel hook to Takada would not pay dividends for him until January 30th of 2000, when Coleman would be entered into the opening rounds of Pride's first ever Grand Prix event. As I said earlier, it will be a throwback tournament to the early days of Vale Tudo in the UFC. And Coleman may or may not be given a free ride into the quarterfinals. More juicy details on that when we cover the Grand Prix in a 2-part episode, which will be episode 9 and episode 10. And that brings us to the end of Pride Fighting Championship number 5. And with that, let's give our pick for Fight of the Night. Good Vibe, what do you think the Fight of the Night was?
I really, it's almost a draw for me. My runner-up, I would say, is Igor. Because fuck, he just annihilated. But my fight of the night had to be Sakuraba.
Yes.
Because it showed just so much fucking improvement. And that's the thing, you know, everybody was commenting on it, is last Pride, he had a fight where the opponent was on their back and he didn't know jack shit. And then all of a sudden he comes here and he fucking does head stomps.
Yes.
That was just beautiful.
Yes. Obviously, the Fight of the Night is Sakuraba versus Belfort. While it was a 20-minute fight that went to decision, it felt a lot faster than that. It was dramatic and action-packed. And it's a great showing by Sakuraba. And as I said earlier, Sakuraba should be the Japanese star of Pride Fighting.
He should.
He should. Not Takada. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and a couple quick programming notes to all our listeners. We're going to be selecting the top 10 fights of Pride the Old Era. And also the top 10 legends of Pride the Old Era. And again, as I said, the Old Era of Pride is Pride 1 through 8. We will only be selecting the top 10 fights out of this era of Pride, and also Legends of Pride. So, like, obviously Sakuraba would
be in that list.
But we have to figure the list out, so we need your help, listeners, and we want to know what you think. Who would be your number one? Make a nomination of who you think has to be in there, and this list is not going to be completely serious. So
we never are.
Yes. So if somebody wants to nominate,
but this will not be a joke like a Takada fight.
Yeah. If someone wants to nominate Soichi for Legend of Pride the Old Era,
I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to fucking laugh. I'm gonna find out where you live. Fucking take a plane there and laugh at you.
Also, I just want to mention we have over 100 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a long 6 months getting to 100 subscribers. But
it's worth it. It's fucking worth it, man.
Yes, I don't want to sound like a shill here because every video on YouTube you listen to says like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Oh, we get it. We know we gotta like, share, subscribe. It should not be said, but I'm gonna say it. Like, share, subscribe. If you like Pride Resurrection and you want to see us continue to do this, subscribe.
No. Let me rephrase that. We're gonna continue doing this, regardless of anything, because I have beer in my hand and I have time on my hands, so I'm gonna keep going.
Yes, but share it with your friends. Share it on if you go to MMA message boards and you want to share something fun that other fight fans might enjoy. Give them a link. And that takes us to the end of episode number 5. And wow, what a show! The best yet! And of course, I say that after every episode. So what's in store for us for Pride Resurrection episode 6? Pride Fighting Championship number 6 would take place on July 4th, as I said earlier, in 1999. A mere 3 months after Pride 5 here. It'll feature 7 MMA bouts and 1 Kyokushin, I think I said that right, 1 Kyokushin karate bout. That's right.
What?
A karate bout.
Oh my God.
Some of the fights to look forward to are a returning Carlos Newton versus a returning Daijiro Matsui, and also a returning Gary Goodridge versus judo champ Naoya Ogawa. Also, Sakuraba will be back, Takada versus Kerr, Akira Shoji versus Guy Metzger, and Igor Volchansk, Igor Inoue, and more. Look for that in Pride Resurrection episode 6. So, for the Colombian good vibe, woo! I am the most dangerous man alive today, wishing you goodbye, good luck, and we'll sniff you fucking jerks later. Peace.